Hello everyone, this is Hillbilly Heath again. I've got another knife review to show you, talk about, discuss. If you watched one of my previous videos, I talked about a tank of a knife. Now I'm going the other direction. I'm going to talk about a couple of lightweight knives that you might want to be interested. Now, knives in this category are more what I usually look for in a pocket knife, and I really like both of these knives, and both have their strengths and weaknesses, and I'll kind of compare, discuss, and maybe help you guys decide, maybe if you're thinking about buying one of these, which direction to go in. Down here on the bottom is the Kershaw Atmos. You got like this is a Sinkovich design, as you can tell. I mean, he's kind of always got that kind of same blade shape, but you got G10 with a little carbon fiber inlay, a little plastic like backspacer like, with a liner lock. And unlike a lot of Kershaw's budget flippers, this is not assisted. This is on bearings, and this baby is really smooth. Did you see that thing drop shut? Just give it a little shake. Great. The action on this is really good. For a Chinese made Kershaw, I was really impressed with this one, because most of the stuff that comes out of the China factory for Kershaw isn't the best. I mean, there's some exceptions, but most of it's not. What's great about this one, it comes with a deep carry pocket clip. You got a hollow grind, so it's a pretty good slicer, actually really good slicer. The only kind of drawback that I would give it, the only flaw I would find in it, if it's, like I've said before, it's not really a flaw, but the blade steel is 8CR13 MOV. I'm kind of a steel snob, so to me it's kind of, you know, they can do better. There's so much better stuff out there nowadays. I wish this was in, you know, a little better steel, but you know, it is what it is, and it's still a great knife. The design is awesome. Sinkovich always puts out some really good stuff, and he's been doing you know, some more stuff with Kershaw here lately, so I might check some of those out. And on top here we have the Benchmade Bug-Out. Now this is USA made, Benchmade of course, S30V steel, kind of a classic drop point design with a swedge up here on top. Of course you got Benchmade's axis lock, which makes it pretty fun to play with. Got these kind of plastic handles, and neither one of these have liners, except for, if you can see in the Atmos, the only piece of metal in it is that liner lock that kind of comes back and clips back here. But the Benchmade does have a little, you can see where that screw is. That's as far as the liner comes. It just comes right around through there. Just enough metal to so the axis lock will work. But both of these are under 2 ounces. This one also comes with a deep carry pocket clip, and it's really short, and I really like it. It really fits this knife very nicely. This is a very high saber grind on this one, and you know, it's a good slicer too. I really like carrying this one. I like carrying both of them because they're, you know, so lightweight, and you know, very good functional cutting tools. So, you know, what's not to like? there is a big price difference. This one I believe is right at $30, and this one I believe is $110, which to me that's a little high for what you're getting here. I mean, I know S30V is you know, one of the better steels. It's not, you know, probably middle of the road. S30V is, but I mean, other than the S30V with the plastic handles, and 110 seems a little high to me. You know, I would think this would come in $85–90. You know, going by what you pay from everybody else, but you know, you have to pay that butterfly tax, which, you know, and they do have different versions of this knife that's even higher, which, you know, with a DLC coated blade, blacked out blade, and you know, OD green handles, I think. And there's actually people even making aftermarket handles for these, if that's something that might interest you. But you know, these aren't really big knives. Like I said, they're both really good in the pocket. They've got about 3-inch blades on them, both of them. You got a little more handle with your bug out. Get all 4 fingers on there really well, which I like. With the Atmos, I can get my pinky on there, but it just kind of, you can see there, about half my pinky. It's on there, but just barely. Kind of give you a size comparison here. I'll put the Rat 1 at the top. Put this out of the way. And the Rat 2 on the bottom. So you can see it's kind of, they're both kind of in Rat 2 territory as far as size. It just smudges off the blade. And you know, the Rat 2 is a good budget, lightweight. It's only what, 2.3 ounces or something for the Rat 2. For this is in D2, so it was like $35, somewhere in that ballpark. But yeah, these are the two I wanted to talk about. And like I said, this one's really spent a lot of time in my pocket. Like, I had this one first, and this one spent more time in my pocket than I actually thought it would. Because of the design and the flipping action on this, and the smoothness of it, I just fell in love with it, really, and I didn't think I would. The only thing that kind of keeps it from being one of my all-time favorites is that steel. If they would upgrade that steel, this thing would be amazing. I mean, it's still amazing, but it's just you gotta sharpen it a lot, you know. And HCR13 is not the most rust resistant either, so you know, if they put S30V on this, I would probably pick it over the Bugout every day. And that might make a lot of Benchmade people mad, but you know, that's just the way I feel about it. I'm usually not crazy about hollow grinds too, but for this, it just kind of fits. I mean, a small just EDC you know, modern folder that most of the stuff you're going to do is open packages and slice food or something to that effect. So it just works well with that knife. Now, the Bugout is no slouch by any means. Like I said, I love carrying it. They're both, you know, thin. As you can see there, the Bugout's even a little thinner. But they're both really good slicers, and I like both of them. It just depends on how much you want to spend. I mean, if you like the axis lock and, you know, prefer the S30V, go with a Bugout. If you're on a budget and want something that's going to slice just as good and still pretty fun to play with the ball bearings in there, get one of these Kershaw Atmoses, because they are really, really nice. That's all I got on these two. I'd like to thank everyone for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram. Everybody have a wonderful night. Bye-bye.